Welcome back, it's Nine, and today we have lots of PS5 news to go over. We are going over some new trophy updates, possibly giving us in-game rewards, and we are going over a black DualSense, once again being reported. Lots of different images up here. It's quite a good look at the remote, and I think it was kind of a given as well, so nothing's too surprising there, but we'll be going over that. And lastly, we'll be discussing how the PS5 fan will be adjusted through firmware updates. Now, before we get into that, if you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to get notified about all my upcoming videos, and hit the like button. It helps the channel a ton. Now let's get right into it, starting with this article that comes from PSU.com titled PS5 Trophies reportedly can earn you in-game rewards. As reported by Tidux on Twitter, these details were actually revealed during the PS5 UI showcase and reveal how users can gain more than just bragging rights for trophies. For example, if you hover over the activity card, you'll be able to see the estimate of remaining time, and when you hover over the trophy card, you can see what in-game reward you'll get for unlocking it. For Destruction All-Stars, a profile banner and a profile avatar are available for earning certain trophies. So this is a great addition to trophy hunting and giving us something extra to strive for, right? Getting some cool avatars, getting, banners, whatever it may be. I think it's a great addition, and definitely you can never go wrong with adding on extra incentives to trophies as it is. So that's exciting to see. Obviously, this was shown in the UI reveal, but there's a lot of stuff in there that maybe all of us didn't catch. So just wanted to throw that out there for you guys who maybe missed that. On to our next topic. This comes from VideoGamesChronicle.com titled, "A black PS5 DualSense controller has appeared again in FCC images." New images showing a black PS5 DualSense controller have been published by the United States Federal Communications Commission. It's the second time the FCC has approved a black DualSense controller. However, the latest listing spotted by a Twitter user features black face buttons to match its design. So I think that's the one thing that was drastically different. And I do want to just shout out that Twitter user who found it, and that is @welltest789. So it's quite interesting to see this, right? Like, we kind of gathered, though, that there would be a full black controller eventually, but it is nice to get that confirmation in a way. Like, I think this is definitely real. I don't think that this is a 3D printed one, a fake one done by a fan. I think this is legitimate. Especially when they show off all the parts. Every single part is shown off, even on the inside of the controller. So I'm pretty confident that this is the real deal. I think that a lot of you are probably waiting for a black controller. I know that a lot of people wanted a black console, and maybe that's also something that they'll be releasing, is those black faceplates to interchange with the white ones that come with the PS5 console. So yeah, this is definitely something that is happening. I think I would be quite surprised if they didn't make a black controller for the PS5, given that they've always had a black edition for pretty well every single PlayStation generation. But I guess we'll see what happens. I don't know if it'll be within the first few months. It might even be in 2021 that we see this controller, given that 2020 is pretty much over almost, and by the time the console drops, it's only gonna be a month and a half of 2020 left. So yeah, that's where I think that's going with it. On to our last topic, and this comes from PSU.com titled, "Sony reveals the PS5 cooling fan will be adjusted by firmware updates." Various games will be released in the future, and data on the APU's behavior in each game will be collected. We have a plan to optimize the fan control based on this data. PS5 has 3 temperature sensors on the main board to control the fan speed based on the internal temperature of the APU and the highest temperature of the 3 temperature sensors. These fan control parameters will also be updated via online updates. So this is, I guess this is a good thing, right? Because then we will be having a PlayStation that performs optimally at all times, right? So if you guys remember the PS4 Pro, and I'm sure a lot of you experience this as I have, it's quite loud. The fans get really loud. It has a hard time cooling the system. There's so many problems in regards to noise coming from the console. For me personally, obviously, I don't know, maybe some of you guys are going to say that you don't have that issue, but I'm telling you right now, since the day I got my PS4 Pro, I've had that issue. So it's nice to see that, number one, we're having a bigger console. It's going to run cooler. There are so many good things to hear, in terms of this system being quiet, in terms of this system not running so hot. And I think this extra addition of being able to run these fans at different speed, and given what it needs, whether it be a very intensive game or whether it be something just, a very lightweight game that doesn't require too much computing power, so therefore the system doesn't get too hot and therefore it doesn't need as much cooling. I think that that's great. It's always a good thing to have these things, updated, because obviously the day we get it doesn't mean it's going to be used the same way as like 6 years down the road, right? So it's always a good thing to hear that these consoles are going to adapt, right, to the changes in the games industry through updates. So it's a positive thing. I think it's a great thing, and I'm really happy to hear that that's kind of what they're doing here. It seems like they really thought ahead with the PlayStation 5. I really feel like they thought ahead. They wanted to make sure that they were future-proofing this console, that they were making sure that the same issues that arose with the PS4 and maybe even in previous generations don't come up again. And I think that's so forward-thinking, and I'm really happy to see that because, I mean, playing on the PS4 Pro, and I really do enjoy playing on the PS4 Pro. It was great, the experiences I had, but I can't lie if I didn't feel that, there were times that the game console was just too loud. It ruined my experience because it was so loud I'd have to turn up the soundbar higher, or even sometimes I have the headset on and you can actually still faintly hear the fans in the background. It's quite loud, and it's nice to see that maybe this generation that's coming, or next gen I should say, we won't run into that issue. And it's my hope that we definitely won't run into that issue. So for me personally, it's probably the most exciting thing to know that, the PS5 is going to manage itself through updates in terms of fan speeds. Awesome. Great news. And I mean, it just seems like the more we hear about the PS5, the more exciting it gets. And I can't wait for November 12th. I can't wait to get all these accessories. Going to unbox them for you guys. Going to show you how they work. And hopefully, give you guys an informed idea of how these things work, and maybe you go out and buy those accessories for yourself, or maybe you say, hey, some of these aren't what I want. But anyway, I'm going to pass this on to you guys. I'm going to ask you, number one, what do you think of the new addition to PS5 Trophies? The ability to unlock extra stuff, not just the trophies themselves. What do you think of this black DualSense controller? Do you think it's real, or do you think this is fake? And would you be interested in buying one when it does become official? And lastly, how do you feel about this new update to the PS5 Cooling fan being able to be tweaked through firmware updates? Let me know in the comments. And as always, if you have not subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to get notified about all my upcoming videos, and hit the like button. It helps the channel a ton. Follow me on Twitter. Link will be in the description, and share this video with a friend. I will talk to you guys on the next one. Take care.